In The Dark Knight, the Joker famously says, "This city deserves a better class of criminals." That line became iconic because the villain was always one step ahead, unpredictable, dangerous, and terrifying. There are very few films where the villain is a step ahead of the protagonist in the course of the story, and in Indian cinema, where the villain is predictable and mundane, Mardaani 1 and 2 had interesting and surprisingly well written antagonists that were an excellent foil to Rani Mukerji's Shivani Roy. Sadly, Mardaani 3 proves the opposite. It gives us a hero who is still strong, but a villain who never feels worthy of her. And that single failure breaks the backbone of the entire franchise. Hello everyone, and welcome to Film Relic. Today we are reviewing Mardaani 3, starring Rani Mukerji, Jishu Sengupta, and directed by Abhiraj Minawala. In this review, I'll break down why Mardaani 3 loses what made the series special, where the film still works and where it competently collapses, and whether this third installment does justice to Shivani Shivaji Roy, one of Hindi cinema's most iconic female cops. Without diving into spoilers, Mardaani 3 tackles child trafficking on a larger, supposedly more dangerous scale. When two young girls go missing, Shivani Shivaji Roy is assigned to the case. Her investigation leads her to Amma, played by Mallika Prasad, the head of a trafficking racket. The film follows Shivani's pursuit of this network, her attempts to dismantle it, and the eventual confrontation with Amma. That's the core plot, simple, direct, and unfortunately predictable. The Mardaani franchise earned its reputation because it dared to do something rare in Indian cinema. It treated villains seriously. Mardaani, which came in 2014, gave us a cold, calculated villain running an organized trafficking network. Mardaani 2 shocked audiences with a chilling, psychologically damaged antagonist. Both films worked because the antagonist was unsettling, intelligent, and unpredictable, pushing Shivani to her limits. Mardaani 3, though, abandons that strength. Let's start with the positives. Rani Mukerji remains the film's biggest strength. She slips into Shivani Roy effortlessly. Her interrogation scenes, investigative instincts, and emotional control still feel authentic and grounded. The film also focuses on serious subjects such as child trafficking. It's a horrifying reality, and the film never trivializes the crime itself. The intent here is sincere. But unfortunately, intent alone is not enough. Another positive of the movie is cinematography by Arthur Zurawski. The film maintains a gritty, realistic texture. Tight frames during investigations and wide shots during raids help ground the story in a believable world. These were the only good aspects of the film. One of the biggest reasons where Mardaani 3 collapses is the weak and predictable villain. Amma, despite ample screen time, never feels threatening. Her motivations are thin, her decisions obvious, and her presence never dominates the narrative. Compare this to Tahir Raj Bhasin in Mardaani 1 and Vishal Jetwa in Mardaani 2. Those villains stayed ahead of Shivani for the most part of the film. Here Shivani is always ahead, and that kills the tension. One of the other reasons is generic investigation writing. The procedural follows familiar beats. Twists are visible from miles away. Films and series like Love Sonia and Delhi Crime have explored this subject with far greater depth and complexity. The other reason is uninteresting subvillains and logic gaps and tonal confusion of the story and screenplay. Some gang members are laughably incompetent, making it hard to feel any real danger. Instead of fear, you feel frustration. As the runtime progresses, the plot becomes cluttered and occasionally illogical, breaking immersion. There is also, on one occasion, an unnecessary larger-than-life action. Rani Mukerji is excellent, but the film forces exaggerated action sequences that feel out of place. These moments unintentionally resemble mass movie theatrics and undercut the grounded tone the franchisee once stood for. So my final verdict is Mardaani 3 is a below average continuation of an otherwise strong franchisee. It drops the most important USP of the series, a formidable antagonist, and also trades psychological tension for generic commercial beats. It also wastes a powerful lead performance with weak writing. Rani Mukerji does her job and the subject matter is important, but the screenplay simply doesn't rise to the occasion. I will rate it 2 out of 5. This is not a bad film, but it is a deeply disappointing one, especially when compared to its predecessor. So, did Mardaani 3 work for you? Did you find the villain effective, or did it feel flat like it did for me? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, hit like, share, and subscribe to Film Relic for more such movie reviews. Until next time, stay curious, stay cinematic.